right. Hi, guys. I'm Katie Room from ParaIpsisPress.com, where I review indie sci-fi and fantasy books. Welcome to our virtual book fair. We've been running the Black Friday sale over the weekend at about 30 titles by indie authors of sci-fi and fantasy. The link is in the description. I encourage you to browse that if you haven't. Grab stuff before it is no longer on sale. This is the Cyber Monday live stream portion of the virtual book fair. I will very shortly begin introducing authors to you. We have about 18 guests tonight, so I'll try to keep things both focused and entertaining for you guys. One of the really cool things about this event is that I have personally read and recommend at least one book from each author who will be on tonight. Whether or not that's the book that's on sale is not guaranteed, but I have at least some confidence that the author that I'm recommending is competent and can give you a good time. So I encourage you to check out my reviews, again, on ParaIpsisPress.com. One last thing before we begin. I will be doing a giveaway at the end of the stream of a $20 Amazon gift card. In order to be eligible, all you have to do is comment virtual book fair in the chat. And I'm using StreamYard's giveaway feature. Hopefully that goes off without a hitch. Hi to the chat. I got Patrick. Please don't sell me any new books. I will. TJ, hi. Jonathan Sugar. We should see both of them later. Hi to Anne. Virtual book fair. Thank you, guys. All right. Just gotta check my notes so that I don't get off track here. Yep, that's all I wanted to say before we introduce our first round of author guests. So I will welcome Roy Griffiths, J. Trevor Robinson, Kitsun Che, and L. Jaji Lamplighter. Hi, guys.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hello.
Would you each please just introduce yourself and then say the title of the books that you have on sale this week? Don't have to get any deeper than title. We'll get there.
Well, heck, I'll go first. I'm terrified. Nobody said I had to be entertaining, but I'll do what I can. My name is Roy Griffiths. Everybody calls me Griff. I've been a writer since I was 10, which was obviously, back in the 1800s, but still, never looked back. Edgar Rice Burroughs is my god, and all that sort of thing. I believe I got 2 books in the sale. One is a Lovecraft with Laughs. It's called The Thing from HR. It is I'm not only supposed to tell the titles, aren't I? See, I'm failing already. And the other one is called Holding the Line. It's the first book in a YA in a series called The Long Watch. Take it away, Trevor.
Hi, everybody. I'm J. Trevor Robinson. I don't know if you can tell from my voice or not, but I am Canadian. And in the sale, I have Breadbasket Rebellion, a young adult dystopian adventure set, fittingly enough, in Canada. Very happy to be here. I think this is the first live stream I have ever done as an author, so this is a lot of fun.
Fun. Jaji?
Hi, I'm El Jaji Lamplighter, and I have 2 books, I believe. The Unexpected Enlightenment of Rachel Griffin, which is the first book of Unexpected Enlightenment, and Prospero Lost, which is the first book in a series that's either called Prospero's Daughter or Prospero's Children, depending on which version of it you come upon. It's basically the same story, though. And thank you very much for inviting me. I'm in Virginia, near D.C. The big exciting thing in my life is my daughter just moved out, so after 17 years, I am now in the master bedroom. You can't tell because it's just a wall, but just imagine that someone moved from a very small sardine can into actual space where you can breathe, and that's what just happened to me in the last 3 days. So,
Right, I guess I'm last then. So, my name is Jay Kitsun, but I guess it's easier to pronounce Kitsun Shia. For this sit fair, I have the first volume of Saga the Swordbreaker, Dawn of the Broken Sword. It's the, think of it as the entry level to everything I've written so far, and I hope you enjoy it.
I did. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to try and keep this focused. Instead of asking you guys to just recite your blurb, which we can find wherever your books are sold. If you want to complete a total list, perryipsispress.com. Links in the description of everything that's on sale right now. I'm going to use these, which I made. I don't know if you can tell. This is handmade, DIY, right? And they just have a few different quick ways that we can talk about your books. And hopefully that will be interesting and fun. So the first card is just going to be something along the lines of summarizing your book for us. And then the second will be something more discussion based. And hopefully that will be enough to sort of ignite conversation and be slightly more interesting for people watching. All right. And again, if you type #virtualbookfair in the chat, you'll be entered into our $20 Amazon giveaway at the end. That is the wrong pile. This is what happens when you make two piles and they both look the same. DIY, you guys. Okay. Explain your book like I'm a 5-year-old. And anybody can go first.
So my book is imagines that there are dark gods and elder things lurking on the edges of time and space who want to take over the earth for reasons nobody knows. And for you young people, you don't understand. Any large organization needs people to write the travel orders and buy toilet paper and things like that. So I figured there's got to be somebody who does that for the evil dark gods, elder things. And they're called Shuggas. And my book is the story, The Forbidden Memoirs of a Shuggath, telling you what it's really like to work for those guys. And my guy is what in some places is known as a schlub. He a thing, actually. The book's called The Thing from HR, a thing of no real importance. And all of a sudden, his uncle, who was a high up in the company, asked him for a favor. And he says, nephew, I need you to go down to Earth and pretend to be one of the hairless apes. And that's his story. These are the memoirs of what it's like pretending to be a hairless ape. And then my other book is just about growing up in a military academy and dealing with all the stuff you do when you're growing up. And kids growing up is hard. So our hero makes a lot of mistakes, but he's in this old military academy that might just be haunted. And he's trying to figure that out, along with all the other normal stuff we go through growing up, like, friends and people who aren't nice to you, and how do you dress? How can you get over feeling weird around other people? And that's what that book's about.
so 5-year-old, right?
5.
So my book is K-pop Demon Hunter meets Harry Potter.
I want to go over.
My son recently said to me, "Mom, you know, K-pop Demon Hunter is in the same genre as you write." And I thought about it for a while, and there's a huge number of overlaps. We even both have Korean main characters. My book is about a little English girl who's part Korean who goes to magic school in America, and she has a perfect memory, and she begins to realize she can remember things that she didn't see the first time with her eyes, and that lots of things are being hidden from even the magic folk, who are in turn hiding things from the normal people. So that's the unexpected enlightenment of Rachel Griffin. And she's unexpectedly enlightened because she begins to discover all the things that they didn't know about that are hidden from their world. But it's also got fun and magic and wonder and fantasy and a little romance and some action. Enough action that a lot of my readers are grown men, not 13-year-old girls. So, kind of like
Or 5-year-olds.
I know a lot of grown men who are also fans of that. So my other story, I don't know how I'd say to a 5-year-old because I'm not sure 5-year-olds know who Shakespeare is. But I'll say it to someone a little bit older than that. It's a sequel to Shakespeare's Tempest, set in the modern day. Prospero never drowned his books. Now he's gone missing. And Miranda has to go around and find all the other siblings that he's managed to father in the time between 400, 500 years ago and the present, convince them that he's actually in trouble, and then rescue him. It's kind of an urban fantasy meets Shakespeare and Dante.
It's a little heavy for 5.
Yeah.
I would
Sounds like
I would
full
recommend
laugh.
another one for below about 14, but 5 is a little too much.
Yeah, I'm not sure if a 5-year-old would really get my main comparison either, but Breadbasket Rebellion is sort of a look at what's going on in the farming districts during the Hunger Games. So it's 2097. Canada has long since been taken over and restructured into something like the somewhere in between the Soviet Union and North Korea. And the story focuses on this 16-year-old boy, Gideon, and his close friends. All they've ever known is living on these farming communes where they're forbidden to leave. And this upstanding young man who would have been the star quarterback in any reasonable world going to high school finds himself unexpectedly in the position of needing to save all of his friends and neighbors from government retaliation when they accidentally find something they're not supposed to have and are definitely not allowed to have. And unfortunately, not everyone in town wants to be saved, and someone is actually trying to make everything worse. So if he didn't have enough problems to deal with, he also has that.
Right.
Well, I guess I'm up then.
Yes, please.
Right. I'm not certain if 5-year-old get my comparisons, so I'm probably gonna give it a try. Okay, so Saga the Swordbreaker, Dawn of the Broken Sword, is about a young man named Li Ming. He's a small town boy with big dreams. He dreams of being an immortal, a martial hero who roams the land, delivering justice at sword points. He grew up with this romantic idea, and he is setting forth into the Jianghu, the world of warriors, to fulfill his dreams. Unfortunately for him, he lives in a cyberpunk world. So this series is about his romantic ideas meeting cold, hard reality.
Mm-hmm.
The Swordbreaker in his title comes from his ancestral weapon. Li Ming is a descendant of war heroes, and the founder of the nation gifted his distant ancestor a swordbreaker. So on the day he enters the Jianghu, he carries his ancestor's swordbreaker into battle, or at least into the world of warriors, hence the title. And with this swordbreaker, he'll carve a legend, his own legend, in the Jianghu.
I think my 3-year-old boy would be on that
I think my son would like it. He's a little older.
Thank you.
Is this the first book in the series?
Yes, Dawn of the Broken Sword is the first book.
Hmm.
The series itself has 6 books and is completed.
JJ says Swordbreaker's a great book.
Thank you.
My kids are all about running around with anything remotely sword-shaped.
Right.
And swinging it around. So I think basically if it's got sword in the title, I think it qualifies as being appealing to the 5-year-old audience. Whether or not the book would actually be appropriate for them is another matter.
Well,
pretend
for
to
what it's
read it.
worth, this book is probably the most YA friendly of all the titles I've written so far.
Okay.
Kalina says the children yearn for violence. Okay. Let's see. So more of a discussion-based one. What was your favorite book as a child?
That's a good question.
It kind of goes with the 5-year-old.
Yeah.
That was not on purpose. I shuffled them, so I don't necessarily know what's coming up.
One of them would
remember
definitely be the Weird Stone of Brisingamen, which I don't know how well known it is nowadays, but it's kind of a Celtic mythology meets Narnia. Your kids from it's set in the same period as Narnia, where the kids are in the countryside because they're leaving London, but they're interacting with British Celtic myths and legends rather than going to another world. But it's really good. Cool.
What was the title of that?
Weird Stone of Brisingamen, and there's a second one called Moon of Gomrath. They're in the same kids, and the author's name is Alan Gardner.
Okay. I might have to look that one up.
I remember reading a lot of Animorphs as a kid. I think I had the entire series at one point. And looking back and like rereading some of the plot summaries to refresh my memory, they were more gruesome than I remember. I actually found the TV series on the Scholastic app and showed my 6-year-old. And a couple times I was like, maybe I shouldn't be showing my 6-year-old this quite yet. Oh.
Well,
I met either the guy who played Jake on that show or his twin brother one time on the subway in Toronto. And when I recognized him, I just blurted out, "Jake from Animorphs." And he very sheepishly responded, "Actually, that's my brother."
Oh, no.
So either it was the other twin, or it was the correct twin, and he just did not feel like talking to a fan at that moment, which I can hardly blame him for.
If I ever become famous, that's going to be mine. I'm sorry, that's my twin.
That's great. Let's see. Edgar Rice Burroughs. I picked up the Princess of Mars, and I read everything I could of Burroughs, and that just was a gateway drug. It just took me, all through the pulp forest of H. Rider Haggard, and then eventually to Robert A. Heinlein stuff. But actually, probably my favorite book of all is just Watership Down, which, if you've never read it, is this amazing, sweeping, heroic tale of rabbits. And that alone stuns me, that this first-time writer could give us a world of identifiable rabbits without being entirely anthropomorphic. And at the same time, I mean, it was touching, and they had a religion, they had danger, excitement, and I read it once every couple of years, just because I'm so amazed at the way the guy was able to make this story about rabbits so compelling.
I found out just recently that Watership Downs is a real place.
Yeah.
I guess I read it when I was a kid, and I thought it had something to do with ships or something. I don't know why I didn't quite understand. But it's a real place in England. If you go there, they'll give you a tour of the various places that.
Yeah, these were. It was based on stories. Richard Adams wrote it, and he would go on long car rides with his two daughters. He would tell them stories, and they would pass Watership Down, which was sort of a high hill in a field. And the daughter said, "Daddy, write that down." So he just started writing it one day, and there you go.
Watership Down is a book that I have heard over and over is a classic, and then I've never read it, but recently it seems like everybody on Twitter and elsewhere is talking about how good it was. So I probably will have to pick it up.
Yeah, 20 pages in, you'll be hooked.
It's long, but it's good.
And like you and like Jaggy, for a long time I resisted it. I said, "What Watership? What is this about?" And I was probably 28 when I picked it up, and I realized what I'd been missing in my life up until then. But it's a great book. Kalina
shares my concern. She's like, "It's on my TBR, but I'm also afraid of being traumatized." That's how I feel about it. Kit?
Yeah. When I think about it, I guess my own Rush House reading is very different from, well, everyone I know. Because of the name of book that defined my childhood, it's probably Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess what really appealed to me was the commitment to authenticity, the in-depth research, the portrayal of people in high-pressure situations, especially competent people.
Mm-hmm.
And that went on to influence my reading tastes and my writing and all into the future.
I was going to say, those things could be said of your writing.
Yeah. Looking back now, though, I'm not quite sure whether a 12-year-old really should read that book, but...
How many things did I get my hands on off of my parents' shelves that they didn't realize I was reading at the time?
I would say most of us, if we did it, we missed a lot of the worst of what we were reading, or we didn't have the experience or maturity to understand some of it, and then you go back now and you're horrified. But yeah,
I read The Once and Future King when I was 10, and I can tell you I didn't understand a lot of things that later on I realized meant things different than what I thought at 10. But it's still I enjoyed it a lot.
Sure.
My brother, who's 8 years older than me, when I was probably about 12, he just gave me a whole bunch of Stephen King books that he was done with. Oh. And I should not have been reading them that early. I remember I tried reading The Dark Half, first of all, and halfway through I got so freaked out by a scene that I hid the book in the bathroom and didn't come back to it for a couple of months.
Oh.
That's kind of funny.
Well,
that you hid it like in the bathroom, like
not
even anywhere near.
It's like, you stay here behind the toilet paper. I will come back for you when I'm ready.
Well, doesn't this all really speak to the power of good and bad writing? Is that it can have so many levels and depths, and the good stuff, especially that you can return to. You go, wow, okay, now I get it. Now I'm old and bitter enough to understand what's going on here, or I failed enough to empathize with this guy's struggles. Whereas at first maybe it was just kind of a cool, fun story where a guy was doing stuff, or a girl was doing stuff. But you get older, and you begin to recognize it's about more than you thought.
Especially as my roles have changed.
Looking
back at stuff. as a parent, even stuff that I read, pretty late in my childhood or while I was in college as a single person. It's like my whole perspective about things has changed, and it's like a whole alternate interpretation of people's behavior is opened up,
Yeah, and some of the people who may have seemed like villains, you're like, well, I can kind of see Dad's point in this one. Yeah, once you become that parent or that employer or that student or whatever. But yeah, and that's the kind of books I want to write that are personally I want to write stuff that does not debase people. That has some. I mean, you can write intense and thrilling stuff, I think, but you can do it in a way that doesn't make people feel bad about themselves and like they need to take a shower after they get done. But that's just me.
All right. Thank you guys so much. I want to say to the chat, if any of these books sounded interesting to you, please follow the description to our event page so you can find the best place to get these books on sale. You can also find my personal recommendations and detailed reviews. And just one more time, this has been Roy Griffiths, J. Trevor Robinson, El Jaji Lamplighter, and Kitsun Che. Thank you guys for coming and being guests with me. And I am going to attempt to put on a short from our YouTube to sort of ease the transition. We'll see how that goes.
Thank you.
Shift change.
Right.
Thanks
for having me on.
Nice talking to you guys.
Same here.
Oops.
It was great
good night,
because I was
everybody.
about to write Kit and ask him what the first book to give somebody in his writing was, but now he just told us.
Appreciate it.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm having a...
That's fine. We'll smile until you tell us we're wrong.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And go find a cat.
Cat there. I didn't think to bring my cat. We could have all been finished.
This one keeps trying to eat a cactus.
Oh man,
that one looks small. Looks
He
like
is.
a young one.
He's a
Very
tiny
young.
criminal.
That's great.
He was getting into something the other day. My wife blurted out, "Scumbag, stop that." And he looked, so I think we figured out what he calls himself.
all right.
Okay. Thank you guys for your patience. The shorts page, not intuitive. Okay. Share screen. Here we go.
What?
Let me know if you guys can hear
The tropes
this.
are there.
It's
No, I'm sorry.
Every
No,
one
sorry.
of these stories know what genre you're in.
drink.
I saw Adam Sandler.
Sleep with the witch. And split the party.
Right, never split the party. Don't eat the free lunch. Because you don't meet at the obelisk at midnight when Moloch is concerned.
Don't try and have babies with the demon.
It's not don't take girls with you into the woods. It's don't take creepy girls into the
Wednesday
woods.
Addams. Is that our big takeaway? Our meta narrative? The trope.
There we go. Okay. Hopefully that will go more smoothly next round. We'll see. Quick reminder before I welcome the next round of guests. If you type #virtualbookfair in the chat, you will automatically be entered into our giveaway for a $20 Amazon gift card. All right. Second round of guests. I will attempt to make sure that I grab the right people here. Okay. Leslie Hsu.
Hi.
Kalina Radcliffe. C.S. Johnson.
Hey.
Make sure I got this right. J. Philip Jones. Let me just really quick. Would you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves and very, very briefly, your book, mostly the title, because we'll get into introducing with the question.
Sure. Can you hear me?
I can. You're a little bit echoey.
Uh-oh. Is it okay now?
I think so.
Okay. I'm Leslie Hsu. I'm the author of the series Kumasagi, which is a romantic fantasy series. And the first book is free today through Friday. And the second and third book will be a reduced price. So that's it.
I'm Kaylina Radcliffe. I am the author of a number of things. The thing I'll be peddling today is my latest, The Tower of Cortico. And we'll talk about it later. Oh, she's got it, because I didn't even think to grab it. So
Leslie's on top of it.
It's great.
Second round rock pops.
I'm J. Philip Jones. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I am the author of Flight from Shadow, Philosopher King #1, the first book in the series, kind of a space opera I'm working on. And it's available for like $1.99 right now on Amazon. And you can also find it at my website at jphilipjones.com, 2 L's in Philip. And you'll get the same discount in the cart and DRM free if you buy it there.
Hey everyone, I'm C.S. Johnson, and I've written pretty much everything that I've ever wanted to write, except for the stuff I haven't gotten to yet. Today I'll be talking about The Princess and the Peacock, which is my original fairy tale about a kid who wants to win the heart of the princess, and you might be able to guess the twist just from the title.
Who's next?
You.
Okay, it is my turn. Good.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jay Shirofini, author and alien in a human suit, and I am here to promote my book, Scars, a novella. The best damn story you've read about at Hyperintelligent Rat and his pal.
Well, I have to say I've read that, and it's really, really good. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
It was my favorite read of 2023. So I would recommend that to anyone.
Wow.
Leslie has been helping me to find some good books that I haven't read, and I think I've done the same for her.
Yeah, I learned about it because of you. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah. That one,
I couldn't remember which way that one went.
I have a whole story, but I don't want to get into it because we're short on time. But yeah, there's a whole thing around that book. It was just a really good experience reading it. So yeah.
Wow, I'm touched.
All right. I am going to draw a card just to review it. The first one's just going to be something to help you guys to summarize your book in a new and interesting way, because we could go and we could read your blurb. It's on the website. So hopefully this will just give you an opportunity to talk about your books in a different way. And I drew from the wrong card. Okay. Describe your book in 3 emojis.
Oh, Katie. I thought the 5-year-old question was hard enough.
I'm Gen X. I don't think I can do this.
I don't know, maybe a pirate emoji, a heart emoji, and a magic emoji.
There you go.
Do they have those? Maybe.
Maybe you should add a sword emoji, a magic sword emoji.
Magic sword. There we go.
Would you like to?
So
you want me to expand a little bit?
Yeah, we could start there and then move.
Okay, yeah. So Tower of Cortico is high seas adventure fantasy. I would like to describe it as like Frozen meets Voyage of the Dawn Treader with Princess Bride vibes. So you have a sea captain, and his job right now is to kind of stop a world war, and there's all sorts of forces conspiring against him. And he meets a woman and her friends, and all of them are not human, which is unique. And she seems like she's maybe trying to start this war. So he has to try to figure out if she's a bad guy or not. And we'll go from there.
All right. Who's next?
I'm still trying to come up with the emojis.
That was hard. That was a hard question.
Mine's pretty easy, so I'll just go. So peacock, fairy, princess. So.
That's kind of in the title, right?
I know.
Too easy. Next question.
It's almost like I came prepared, supernaturally prepared for this. No.
I will talk a little bit more about.
Yeah. I will say it's a very nice fairy tale, obviously, because I wrote it. But no, I was inspired because one of my friends, her daughter and her son-in-law are missionaries to India, and they were telling me about the eunuch population there that they kind of try to minister to, and a lot of them aren't seen as like people because of the traumatic experiences that they've had when they're young. And so I decided to write a nice fairy tale that like incorporates that kind of cultural element to it. So The Princess and the Peacock is about a boy who is in love with the princess, and she's going to be married, and he wants to win her heart. And if you climb to the top of the Forbidden Mountain and you survive, the Queen Fae, who lives on the top there, will grant you your wish. So that's pretty much the setup. It's nice. I don't want to give too much of it away. It's kind of like Princess and the Frog meets really weird historical facts tied in with a bunch of personal stuff that I just talked about. So that's most of my writing in general, though.
Just really quick as a side note, anybody who is watching from backstage, I'm about to boot some of you and request that you watch on YouTube. Sorry. Because I've got other people trying to move in.
Yes, you can't stay, but you don't have to go home, right?
Okay. Is anyone else ready with theirs?
Sure. I'm ready. Rocket ship, astronaut, rodent. How about or rat emoji if such a thing exists?
Oh, I'm sure it does.
And as for scars, as we can see here, the astronaut helmet cracked with the rodent in it. You've heard of Harlan Ellison's A Boy and His Dog, hopefully. Well, this is a man and his rat. And although it is not set in an apocalyptic wasteland, instead it's a very down-to-earth, believable, high-tech Earth future. And rather than fighting for survival against the brutality of the wasteland, this is more about a fallen astronaut dealing with the loss of a leg due to a horrible accident in space. James he worked in orbit. He loved his job. He loved working and living in space, towing old satellites out of orbit so to clear up the spaceways. Then there's a horrible accident that costs him everything. He loses his leg. He loses his best friend. He loses his job. And now that he's landlocked and swimming through the trauma of the moment and the guilt of losing a friend while up in space due to the accident, he's riding the edge of suicide, and he's given an animal companion to help him through his struggles. And it turns out to be Max, and Max is a hyper-intelligent rat whose brain is 25% human. And even though he's a rodent, a very smart rodent, he can talk via text message, which appears on a contact lens retina in James's eye. So they communicate back and forth. James can talk and Max can understand him, and Max texts messages back to them. That's the setup. And it's a buddy story. I mean, it is real sci-fi. It definitely gets into some science behind things that are being developed right now. A lot of the stuff that you might think I made up about rats isn't. It's actually true. But on a deeper level, the story was inspired by my own trials with post-traumatic stress. At age 19, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but at 19, I was assaulted. I was attacked at random, shot in the back, 9mm bullet in the stomach, and nearly died. And through that, well, that's going to change you. That is going to have a lasting effect. And through some of the roughest post-traumatic stress, I ended up getting a pet rat. It was my wife's idea, actually, and I was thoroughly blown away at one, how smart the little guy was, but how much my relationship to my buddy Zed changed everything and really helped me through the hardest times. And some of the story is based on things that really happened. Like Zed used to really wake me up from my night terrors. He would bring me gifts to cheer me up. There are lots of little details about living with a very smart rodent. And Zed turned out he was abnormally smart for a rat. But he was a smart rat, and he could smell when I was stressed, and he'd be there for me. And I also found out that he himself, I was shocked to find out that rats are close enough to humans that they can experience the same trauma scars that we can. And Zed had his own issues. Long story. Essentially, there's a reason Petco doesn't sell rats anymore. And the breeder they used went to prison for what he was doing. Zed was one of those rats, and I was a little shocked to see similar behaviors happening in the rat. But the bond and the relationship affected me so much that this story came to mind. And so when Zed passed, I wanted to write a story to remember him by. And that's where this came from. So there you go.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
And right now you can get it for $4.99 in print. That's $1 off.
It's, you might want to mention, it's super short. It's like a novella, right?
Right. It's a novella. It's not a novel.
I read it in a day. Like, it was such a page turner. And,
Thank you.
like, it made me cry like a couple of times, even the end. And I read it with a friend who was also reading it in the same day. Matt Waterhouse, I think you know. Some of you might know him. He loved it as well. So, really, really great story. I recommend anyone pick it up.
Yeah. The Alchemy Lab 8134 says, now I want to read Scars again.
Yeah, it's on my list to read again someday. Like, there's certain books I want to revisit, and that one, and I agree with him. I will read it again. That was Matt, the Alchemy Lab.
Yes.
We read it at the same time.
I recognize people's handles, but I don't always connect them across platforms.
Yeah, he lives in Kyrgyzstan, so it's like a 12-hour difference, and I finished it in the afternoon, and he finished it like 10 minutes later, but it was like in the wee hours of the morning for him because he just kept turning pages. Like he kept reading it, and we ended up finishing the end of the book near the same time. It was just really fun to read it with him, and it's just a great book on its own to begin with. So
Thank you.
Really excited to meet you in person, actually. So, yeah.
It's a sign of a well-written, good book that you can read it again.
Yeah, definitely.
J. Philip Jones, 3 emojis.
I guess maybe like a really happy, excited emoji, then a kind of intrigued, one of the eyebrows up emojis, then like the really scared, maybe sweating emoji.
Oh my goodness.
So the book, Flight from Shadow, Philosopher King #1, it's about the crew of a prospecting starship called the Philosopher King. And the first book, it's also not very long. I think it's like 35,000 some odd words, and it's kind of it's its own complete story. But it also is kind of serves to introduce the reader to the crew and kind of what their business is. They look for exotic elements in unexplored star systems so they can sell them, and that's how they make their living. And they stumble across something that is a huge monumental discovery, and things go south. And I've always loved space. I was the boy that would go to the library and check out books about the planets, and I always loved spaceships, technology, and stories about people in spaceships. And I love character development and kind of, I'm one of these people. If I'm writing a scene with my characters, I'm not so much. I'm just kind of guiding it, and I'm kind of listening to what they say. And I love that aspect of kind of writing this and putting it together. And of course, my goal is to kind of let this kind of be the genesis of kind of an ongoing series. Now, I am a very busy father of 3 small children, so sometimes I have a baby in one arm and I'm over here single typing on the other, trying to get my book written. But and so this one is the first one in the series, and again, it's its own story. The second book, Threat from the Shadow, which is tentatively slated to be out this coming spring, picks up right where this one leaves off and kind of deals with the ramifications of what happens in this first book that's available now. And it's like twice as long, whatever. Things get more complicated. You can't have something that monumental happen as what happens in the book without there being a whole lot of repercussions for it. And it allows me to kind of explore more in depth of some of the backstories of some of the characters, and also introduce some internal conflict and a little bit more complicated things. Ultimately, there's a 3-book arc. This one's in editing, the third one's in planning, and then beyond that, hopefully, this will be a series. I've always wanted to write a sci-fi series, and I've always wanted to write a space-based sci-fi series, and I'm kind of writing the type of book I would like to read when I was younger, and I'm trying to. I think the youngest reader that I know's read it was around 12, and the oldest is in his 80s. So I think I try to build something that is compelling to a wide audience. And of course, I'm an independent Christian author, and so I try to certain things I feel like are a little bit of baggage to the sci-fi genre in terms of worldview. I try to do something a little bit different with that, and just try to build compelling characters and give them interesting challenges that kind of put them to their limit. When you talk about people, you find out who they really are when they're up against something that's unknown or something that's really stressful. And so, in this book that's out now, and also the book that is currently slated for spring, that's what I do. I take these characters, I put them in stressful situations, and give them the opportunity to either rise to the occasion or to succumb to it. And I'm kind of new to this whole writing thing. I'm a career coder, software guy, but I've always wanted to write. I've always wrote things, but I can't talk. But never really got around to publishing things until now, and I'm just really excited where it's going, and I hope that my readers are as excited about it as I am.
Great. Leslie, you've done a whole bunch of hyping. Now do you.
Okay, so the 3 emojis would be the drop of water, I guess, because it takes place in a world where it used to be an aquatic civilization, but now they live on land. Second emoji would be, there's actually a rosary emoji, which reminds me of like a Tibetan mala, which is also a rosary type thing where they, count the prayers. So there's some spirituality to it based in Tibetan and Indian kind of culture. And then the third emoji would be a heart, because there's a forbidden love. There's a story of forbidden love throughout the whole series. There's a love story, basically. But it's clean romance. It's not anything explicit. But yeah. So that would be the emojis for mine.
Very nice.
Yeah, I just finished Leslie's the part 1, Destin, which was really good. The thing that I loved about the book, it was just it was a world that I was not expecting, because it's not Western centric fantasy. And it's always really refreshing when you get to see a really different kind of point of view. So good job. I loved it.
Thank you so much. That means a lot coming from you. Like, I've read pretty much all of Kaylina's books that she's published.
Thank you.
Definitely can recommend any of her books. Go pick them up.
Thanks.
Just looking here. We are running a little bit behind, but I think, let me see. I feel like all of these are going to be really long ones for you guys to answer. I'm sure.
Well, it sounds like we're all very introverted people overall, so we all have a lot to say. Even if you pick the shortest one in there, Katie, we'd probably be like, let me go on for hours. So.
Just really quickly, do you have any Easter eggs in your story?
Do I have any Easter eggs? It's kind of a hard call. I mean, there are lots of nods to real things in my story. For one, I know there are multiple times where I have James make passing references to the lyrics of "Ashes to Ashes" by David Bowie in reference to himself, him being a fallen astronaut. So I don't know if that counts. I guess the other one is that I do mention the name of an actual organization where rats are used to disarm mines.
I didn't know that was a real thing.
Yeah, I didn't make that up. That actually exists.
I guess I'm not surprised that that's sad.
Well, no, actually it isn't, because the rats are light enough that they don't. Well, yeah, okay. You know what? I don't want to ruin the story. Never mind. We won't get into that.
Spoilers.
Jonathan points out it's better than other things that disable minds. So, yep.
Well, he would know.
I remember that I put a Star Trek reference in mine, but now I can't remember what it is. And I was so clever about it too. Because Star Trek doesn't have anything to do with my book. I'll have to go remember what that was and get back to you someday.
Read Leslie's books and then you discover the Easter egg that she's forgotten where it is.
Yeah, I legitimately forget. I can't remember if I put anything funny or hidden in my books, so you'd have to tell me if I did that. I can't remember.
I honestly don't think I have any Easter eggs in The Princess and the Peacock, but I know I have several in other books. When I say several, I mean I could name all the worst things that you can think of in some way or another in there. And yeah, they're in there. So.
I too have a bad memory about stuff I put in the book. I guess the name of the starship, Philosopher King, is a reference in and of itself. And I have I'll drop tidbits that are inconsequential, but they pertain to something that's going to be happening in the next book, type things like that. But as far as outside references, that's the only one I can think of right now.
Basically, if you read an indie book and you discover an Easter egg, reach out to them, let them know that they put that in there.
It always seems so clever at the time, and now I'm like, I don't even remember it. How clever could it have been?
Personally, I have had the the most fun year lately because Trump's talking about annexing Panama and Canada and everything, and I'm like, that's in my book. You're in my book. He's a fan. So even the war in the Middle East is referenced and stuff, and I'm just like, yep, saw it coming. So. Yep. Oh, you know what? That does remind me, like the dictator, like they actually like have a nickname for Daddy Dictator, and I borrowed that from Milo Yiannopoulos calling Trump Daddy in the 2016 election. So yeah, weirder Easter egg there. But
oh yeah, I think it just referenced a lot of like Pennsylvania stuff that only Pennsylvanians care about. I did a short story, and I don't even know where it is, but I had written, it was like a dystopian one, and I had Gritty in it. But it was like Gritty, like if the rest of his costume fell off and all he had was the head. Do you know who Gritty is, by the way?
I don't.
Okay, Gritty, he's the Flyers mascot, and he looks absolutely, he's like a giant orange Muppet, and he looks insane.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is this Eastern Pennsylvania or Western Pennsylvania?
I'm Eastern Pennsylvania.
Okay, I was gonna say I grew up in West PA. This is obviously an Eastern Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I'm referencing like, well, and I'm right now where I live too. I'm closer to Central PA, so there's like a lot of Amish stuff. Pennsylvania, what you call Pennsylvania Dutch, is really German heritage. So you have so in the Gatewatcher series, there's a character called the Belschnickel, and he's like the PA Dutch version of Santa Claus, but he's like mean, and he beats kids with switches when they're bad, and gives them hazelnuts if they're good. And I don't know, I just love the Belschnickel. I think he's the funniest like Christmas character. So I had put him in that series for that reason. And I wanted to expand on like the lore about him. But yeah, so stuff like that.
Did you
I remember when I was editing.
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was asking if she saw the Office episode where Dwight has
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. those people live in my backyard now. Those kind of people.
Yeah.
So, we love them. They're crazy.
I learned a lot about Eastern PA from The Office.
Oh, and it's pretty close. It's pretty spot on with the culture. So.
Yeah, my husband actually was watching it with me a few years ago, and he said, "Look at the car tags in there," because Pennsylvania is one of the only states that has the registration tags in the windshield.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that was weird. That's just what I grew up with.
Right. So I live down in Atlanta now, so we're lucky if we have registered cars here. Period.
All right. Thank you guys. If any of these books or people sounded interesting, I encourage you to check out the event page, and then you will be directed to the best place to get these books on sale.
Yes, thank you for hosting, Katie.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
So just one more time, Leslie Shue, Kalina Radcliffe, J. Ishiro Feeney, J. Philip Jones, and C.S. Johnson. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for inviting us.
Yes, have a good night.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Bye.
I am again going to attempt to share a short.
The tropes are there. A weird question. You're driving along. You see Bigfoot run out in front of you. Do you run over Bigfoot?
Do we know the over-under on surviving a crash with Bigfoot?
How big is Bigfoot and how much does he weigh? Like, what are the odds that he comes through my windshield?
Like
and
7
kills me?
feet tall.
Bears.
He's a little Bigfoot.
That's feeling a little dangerous, right?
I'm not talking about surviving. I'm just saying the morality of killing Bigfoot, running him over, because it is Bigfoot. So animal maybe, also could be person in a suit, but also I'm famous. I've killed Bigfoot.
I can honestly say that I've never considered hitting anything on the road on purpose. I know there are
Bigfoot. It is literally Bigfoot in front of you. You're like, oh, this is the thing that I've seen in the blurry pictures. I'm running it over.
I've never had this thought.
All right, in the comments, everyone, please, most of our audience has to be thinking this. Like, yes, thank you. We too. I'm pretty sure I'd run over Bigfoot, though.
I'm pretty sure you would too.
I think after this conversation that I concur, Patrick would run over Bigfoot.
yes, he would.
That's how I know you guys are my friends. You know what I do.
All right. Here we go. Round 3. I apologize to everybody who's been waiting to join. We are running behind. Okay. Isaac Anderson.
I'm here.
All right, Snow.
Hi.
Mark
Oh my
Engels.
goodness.
Hello, everyone.
And I'm just going to double check on Donald. But if you guys would please introduce yourselves and the title of your book very briefly.
I'm Isaac Anderson. Am I coming in clear? Am I too loud?
You sound good.
Perfect.
Okay. I'm the author of A Song of Bones. It is inspired by the works of Brian Jakes, who did Redwall and things like that, about a bunch of mice who've never been outside. They've been held captive underground their entire lives, digging in the dirt. And I have The Garden Maze, which is about a knight past his prime and his squire going into a cursed hedge maze, and crazy things happen.
That sounds fascinating.
It's fun. I enjoyed making it.
Mark, you go next. Go ahead.
Oh, sure. I'm going to have to pick up Isaac's book because one of my favorite books growing up was Robert C. O'Brien's Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim.
Oh, yeah.
So
yes,
what you're describing would certainly be along that that vibe.
It is,
Hello,
definitely Nim inspired.
Hello, everyone.
It is fantasy, but as far as the characters go, it is very Nim inspired.
Sure. Great. My name is Mark J. Engels, and I write urban fantasy thrillers featuring the modern day remnant of an ancient clan of werecats torn apart as militaries on 3 continents vie to exploit their deadly talents. The opening book of the Forest Exiles saga, Werecats Emergent, is part of the sale. And if you click on that link, you will see more details about the book. And you'll also be able to check out the other books in the series, Werecats Convergent and also Werecats Resurgent. And oh, fantastic! Donald's here. I am
Yes.
glad. And I just got done talking about my books, which Donald has been a longtime fan and supporter of mine and me for his. So fantastic. We could come on together, Donald. And
Yes.
we're both
Good to see you, Mark.
I'm in Wisconsin now, on the opposite side of the state from where Katie is in Wisconsin in the USA. And Donald and I are both Michigander expats.
Wait. Okay. Were you Yoopers, or were you like in the lower part of the mitten?
Well, I grew up down there below the bridge there, you know, but I went to college in Sault Ste. Marie. So
don't you say.
put on my chook and go shopko, you know. Yeah, sure, you betcha. Hey,
Donald,
real good, eh? Real good.
you want to go?
And I'm from the Grand Rapids area, so.
Oh, that's exciting. Thank you for sharing.
Quick, can anybody name a Yooper song? Do I have from Dice?
No.
What?
The second week of beer
I don't know
camp,
what you guys are talking about. I don't know any of this.
or
This is
beer
beyond me.
run.
Beer Run's great. All the songs I know I wouldn't want to mention on here right now because there might be people watching. I can't do it. So
Yes.
Donald, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Donald Jacob Eidflucht. Donald is fine. You don't have to try to pronounce my last name. The book I
always
have.
pronounce you.
Yeah. Book I have in the sale is Jiao Tu's Endeavor, which is a sci-fi adventure starring anthropomorphic animals, I guess would be the short way of summarizing it.
And you just got on a little too late. Isaac was just talking about how his books are inspired by Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim, which
I'm definitely going to have to check out Song of Bones too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on standby. I just didn't see him for some reason, so that was
Oh, okay.
He's been here all along.
It's lurking
Yep.
in the background.
Yeah.
So animals seem to be the theme. We got werecats, we got rats and mice, and you said yours was sci-fi. Did I hear that right? It was sci-fi.
Yes. Basically, uplifted anthropomorphic animals are crewing a generation ship that's 500 years off course, and
Oh my goodness.
kind of societies have emerged as they tend to do in those sorts of stories in the off course generation ship, and
That's amazing.
it's kind of takes the wandering hero Ronin trope and throws in some wuxia elements, monster hunting elements, a little bit of all the things that I find fun. Everybody who reads it finds it a great book. The trick is it doesn't fit neatly in any marketable categories, so it's hard to. It still hasn't found its
Welcome to
audience, I don't
indies.
think yet.
Yep, that's how it works.
Snow.
So Snow, you better have an animal thing.
I do. It's called a chupacabra. Congratulations to me. Because you're coming.
That is not a main character.
Yes, actually, he ends up being a main character.
Seriously?
Yeah, he does. He ends up being a main character. Now, you don't get to meet him until the second book. So, second book actually originally was part of the first book. And let me show it to you. Is it my turn yet? Can I go?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Oh, very good. Okay, so first of all, I'm being mysterious tonight. I welcome you to my mysterious redhead lair, where I have created a book, and the book is Watcher of the Damned. Be there, be there, be there. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. It's a sci-fi western romance, post-apocalyptic with guns. Pew pew. It has all kinds of barbecue in it, and most importantly, it has mutant cowboys. Because who doesn't want to shoot up the place with a bunch of cantankerous, mutated cowboys who are living in a worldly man cave because women have been just wiped off the map? And at first that sounds
we don't need
cool,
them women.
all you think of is
Mutated cowboys.
Yeah,
We
that's
don't
right.
need them.
Barbecue, and there's going to be fist fights, and there's going to be a lot of other cool stuff. But eventually, some people get lonely. It just happens. I don't know how. And so that's how we end up with Watcher of the Dam, because we actually have, what if the Georgia Guidestones came to life? And let me ask you that question. Do you even know what a Georgia Guidestone is? Have you ever heard of one?
I was sad to hear they got demolished.
Yeah.
That surprised me.
Someone knocked them down.
That's right. Something knocked them down and just hauled it away in the middle of the night, and ain't nobody knows what happened to it. I'm sorry. By the way, I am from Texas. Let me just go ahead and say that out loud in case you have not figured it out yet. But I love all you Yankees out there. Thank you so much.
God bless
you. Snow is here with us.
Love you. Love you. You're so cute like that, just being all Yankified and everything. Yes, but really set in Texas, because I would ask myself, why is there no sci-fi really set in Texas? And I couldn't figure it out. And it's now Watcher of the Damned is a sci-fi western saga, but it is also partly fantasy. It has horror elements. Like you said, it's very hard. We're writing these stories, and we're not bound by genre. We actually go out and we write our own story, and we find that it fits some genres. In the case of Watcher of the Damned, because it's such a unique story, because of the way it's written, it is set in a near future, post-apocalyptic Texas, actually almost like an alternate history. What if the people who wrote the Georgia Guidestones got their way? What if the future they planned for us became real, and they foobarred it so far beyond recognition? Because as you know, when a corporation sets out to make their dreams come true, what happens? Utter and complete
Dreams come true.
disaster. That's right. We have it coming. You only thought that they could do it right. Well, you were wrong. They screwed it up. And that's exactly what happens in Watcher of the Damned. It is so foobar beyond recognition that they can't fix it. They've ruined it. So they have to live with the results. And it's kind of a little rough, because you've got some people that still have tech, and you've got other people that have pretty much been nuked back to the Stone Age. And so we have this group of mutant survivors, these guys that were left out to deal with this pandemic, which, by the way, I actually came up with this before COVID. And there was a giant pandemic, and it wipes out all the women and turns the men into these giant hooking apes, because if they're left out in it, they'll start like getting all mutated and warty and everything, because it just totally over testosterones them. And they are transmutated into even bigger dudes than they were before. There's like 4 women left on the planet. They're sort of like actually end up being sort of kind of like they're for lack of a better word, they're like postmenopausal. Let me just say it that way. They're evil. They're filled with rage. They want to murder everyone. They're super sexy to themselves. Because one thing about it, y'all can be ugly. If everybody's ugly, everybody looks good to each other. Have you ever noticed that? Like it's kind of like beer goggles, but it's called ugly goggles. When you realize how bad you look, you don't care what the other person looks like. Okay. So gals, there's a few of them left, just a very few, and they're meaner than sin, and nobody can have kids. And here's everybody's all mutated, and their lives have been unnaturally extended through this thing. It is a world without children. It is exactly what they tried to sell us all this time. Gee, I wonder what would happen if the Georgia Guidestones became real, and they said there was only 500 million people that were allowed on the face of the earth, and the Earth and Gaia would come back, and it would be all lovely and floaty.
I said that I didn't know what they were, and now that you talk about them, I'm like, oh yeah, I do know what the Georgia
The
Guidestones.
scary rocks in Georgia.
Yes, right. They had lions, and they thought they did them.
All right.
So
No, I'm going to cut you off. Because like Michael Caine says, you're owning this round.
No, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, wait.
You are enthusiastic.
I get it.
I've read Watcher of the Dam, and the setting is extremely compelling.
Well, thank you.
And so the fact that you can hop on that train and just start, taking off, it does not surprise me at all.
I've spent a lot of time on this. I'm excited about it. It's my version of 40K, but it's for me, so I'm excited.
TJ says can't stop the snow train.
40K.
40K Texified.
That's right. It's like Hello Kitty.
Yeehaw.
That's the way it was.
I am gonna skip the intro question because I feel like you each said a little bit about your book, right?
Oh yeah. I have questions about the werecats and eventually.
Yes.
Yes.
Mark,
Oh,
do you want
sure.
to give a little bit more?
Where'd you come up? Where'd you come up with this idea? What made you go werecats? That's for me.
I know. Thundercats.
One of my favorite series growing up, and one of several of my influences. I've been a anthropomorphic fan for a long, long time, going all the way back to Kim of the White Lion. Back when I only had 3 channels on the TV to watch and had to sneak down to the living room at 6:30 weekday mornings to watch Kim of the White Lion while I'm eating cereal at breakfast before going to school. So I that was before I ever knew that there was anime. That was before I ever knew that anthropomorphics was a thing. One of my interests in college was various anthropomorphic titles like Usagi Yojimbo, from Stan Sakai, which is why I immediately took to Jiaotu's endeavor, him being a long-eared langomorph, also a lop-eared langomorph. And I also enjoyed Irma Felna EDF by Stephen Gallacci, and other work that he did, a series called Birthright. They were some of my interests. And so when I thought, how could I combine my anthropomorphic interests? I was reading several anthropomorphic cat stories at the time. And it occurred to me that how would these characters interact with in our world with other human beings and places and settings that we may be familiar with. And so that's when it occurred to me, well, would they hide in plain sight? Would they, oh, hey, maybe they're only furry part of the time. Oh yeah, let's do this. So these are the books that I had in my heart to write. The books I wanted to read and couldn't find, in addition to Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim by Robert C. O'Brien. Another one of my favorite books growing up was The Adventures of a 2-Minute Werewolf by Jean Deweese. and that I got from the Weekly Reader Book Club, and I wore the spine out on that book, reading it so many times until it fell apart. So based on all of those influences, I thought, yes, this Werecat story must come to pass.
Mark's books are a lot of fun because you got to kind of imagine a anime spy thriller with sort of Cold War overtones meets generational family saga, and the main characters happen to be werecats to complicate matters further.
Yes, who play hockey and who play ice hockey and who actually are sailors on the Great Lakes. Other combining
Dude, that's so
other
cool.
interests, things that I
Werecats
just
who play hockey and sail.
yes.
Do
And
you
you
have
wouldn't think cats would like water, but they do.
Some cats
make
do.
sure they stay
Some
on
cats
top
do.
of it. They just may have to stay on the right side, on the dry side of the deck.
Do you have an Edmund Fitzgerald Easter egg in there somewhere?
No, but I have a storm that was like November 10th, 1975, and being from Michigan and having gone to college in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, at the east end of the Upper Peninsula, where the Edmund Fitzgerald was bound when it sank. I have a lot of maritime lore and legend in my books. And why did I do that? Well, because I thought it was cool, and there weren't nearly enough books that I'd read that had that in there. So there's some very harrowing events in the first book when our heroes are trying to escape a dangerous situation, and they go out of the proverbial firing pan into the fire by fleeing on a tugboat to the middle of the Great Lakes, except it's not November, it's April, which is also scary. And
We don't
I
go in
can
the water
attest
in
to
April.
yeah, and I can attest to that because I've actually sailed on the Great Lakes in for work aboard floating plant of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers when I worked at the Sioux Locks many years ago, and it's pretty harrowing to be out just on a little bit of weather, and the captain's just laughing that that's a walleye job.
when the bow of the boat comes up.
Yeah. That's a walleye chop. So, right. So that's why I was glad to put these books out there, and I'd be glad for people to check out Katie's website at and see all of our books there, and you can click the links and be taken to pages with lots more detail on them.
Absolutely. Okay. Your guys' question. Oh. So, was it earlier this week, last week? Someone posted on X saying, I wrote my book because all books suck now, as your reason to be a writer is not only disgustingly arrogant, but also career suicide. The question I have for you guys is, why do you write? Donald, would you like to start?
Oh, I'd be happy to. I write generally because a story idea takes hold of me and just won't let go. I mean, I talk a little bit about this in the afterword of Volume 1 of Jiaotu's Endeavor, that Mark was one of the people in the conversation on Twitter way back before Jiaotu started, that another writer friend was saying how he was writing a samurai story but set in space, so Toshiro Mifune in space, and I was kind of encouraging him to do it and said, that sounds like a great idea. You know, if I did it, I'd probably turn it into a furry story of some sort. And Mark, instantly, once I said that, he jumped on that bandwagon and said, yes, you should go ahead and do it. And I kind of laughed because I mean everybody spitballs back and forth on Twitter all the time, but the idea wouldn't let me go, and so I tend to be a little bit shy about showing my face. If you see my avatar for this chat, that's actually the main character of the story, Jiao Tu, who's a anthropomorphic harlequin rabbit. So half of his fur is black, half of it is ginger, and once kind of that character came to me, it just kind of demanded that the story be written. And in a lot of ways, I feel like my whole life as a reader and a writer has led to this story because I'm throwing everything that I like into it. There's sword and planet elements, so I get in some Edgar Rice Burroughs, some Lee Brackett in it. I was really into the Witcher stories at the time, so there's parts of Jiao Tu's personality that are influenced by the Witcher stories. There's of course, Usagi Yojimbo. But I've I felt like these characters were alive enough to me that I just had to tell their story, and so far it's been a crazy ride.
Oh, excuse me. Before the Katie, your my audio had cut out a little bit when you were saying the question. Could you repeat it, please?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The question is, why do you write? And I referenced a Twitter post that says, if you say, I wrote my book because all books suck now, as your reason to be a writer, it's not only disgustingly arrogant, but also career suicide. That was the inspiration.
Oh no, no. Just tell us how you really feel, X Factor. Just, I mean, don't be shy now.
So the question is, why do you write? And it doesn't
Why do you
have to
write,
be
Mark?
because all books suck. But I'm interested to hear why you write.
Why don't you go, Isaac? Because it's been a while since we've heard you.
Okay. Two origin stories. First off, my grandmother was a wonderful storyteller. She would tell us stories before bed every single night. And they were hilarious. They were wonderful. They were unlike anything I've ever heard. And that kind of put in me this strong love for story and characters and sharing them. Then I read a book called The Tale of the Swamp Rat by Carter Crocker. And I never knew a book could be as good. Like it was my first exposure to true art was this book. It made me go, this is what you can do with words. So the reason I write, I have these stories, I have these ideas, and I want to put them down so they don't die, so they don't disappear. I'm writing for myself, for the younger person that I was. I would have loved to have found Song of Bones on the library shelf. I'm also writing for my future children, my grandchildren. I'm making something that's going to be around forever. So that's my motivation. That's why I write. I want to create intriguing, deep stories that are also art. That's my goal.
Very nice. Snow?
Oh, it's my turn. Hi. So, first of all, full disclosure, I'm older than dirt, so this is going to make a lot of it make more sense when you realize. Most of y'all know, like I'm 900 years old and basically like a Chihuahua. That's like 1,000,000 years old in dog age, but actually I'm like 63. This allows me to do a lot of cool stuff. So my life has been very active. I was a firefighter and an EMT. Actually, I was a volunteer firefighter and an EMT for started my own fire department, moved out here to the country. I have my little ranch. I'm out here in Texas. I've been living my life, and I'm a big gamer and everything like that. I love playing video games. I was there at the beginning of D&D, and I started playing all that stuff. I always had a lot of fun, but there's a thing. That thing happened. It's called life.
Excuse me, Snow. Are you Red Book D&D? Go all the way back to Red Book?
I know of Red Book. I started in 1978, and I was actually in my high school. They had a club that was like, hey, let's play D&D, because I was in the physics class and we were all nerds. And my teacher had the Red Book. And so I didn't know what the heck I was doing at the time. So all I knew is, oh, he's got a book. As far as I know, that's the one I think you're talking about is the
the original
the
original D&D source. Yes.
So, no, so we started then, and then I started dating a dude who would later be my ex-husband. I was not so romantic, and so anyhow, and he ended up with all the books in a custody battle. But so he had all the books, and I started off as just I was doing it because I was like a girlfriend, and then before I knew it, I was playing every weekend until a divorce happened in 1993. It's not my fault. And so I lost all of it, including the group and everything. I didn't play for years. So meanwhile, I'm booping through life, because after you've actually played adventure games, you want to go be adventure girl. And so I did all this stuff, and I went out and had a fantastic time, and I was doing these things, and then life happened. And what happens when you have life? Okay, so this thing happens, it's called your 50s, and you're going to find out what your little buddy is. And your little buddy is whatever it is that's going to show up, that's going to try to kill you later. That's diabetes or heart attacks or strokes or something like that. That's really cool. Well, anyhow, I found out I had a really cool sort of a condition that actually might be trying to kill me or something like that. And I couldn't be a firefighter anymore. I was really bored. I tried playing Fallout 3 on sponge bullet mode for like forever and ever. Like there's only so far you can play Fallout 3. No, but I lie. I could still be playing it right now, but my PS3 died. And so it just died a horrible, horrible death. And I refused to upgrade because I don't want to have them on my own games, because I want to have all of mine on my disc. So anyhow, I was super bored. And I'm like praying, I'm going like, Jesus, what do I do? Because I'm really bored, because I can't get out and I can't fight fires anymore, and I can't be an EMT, and I'm so bored. And out of the blue, this story just falls in my lap. I have never written anything before. Okay, I take that back. I actually wrote investigative journalism under a different name, but we won't talk about that. Very important. And then I also wrote like little small stuff. I write sort of dark stories, and I write poetry, but I had never written a book in my entire life. And I'm like, are you serious? What do I do with this? I started writing this story, and I could not stop. I was following these characters, and they were just doing stuff, but they were allowing me to come along for the ride as long as I didn't talk too much. And that's really, really hard. And so I went ahead and I just followed along, and I wrote everything down that they were doing. And before I knew it, we had Watcher of the Damned, and it was amazing. And now we've got, okay, so here's the first one. This is the one that's on sale. It's always on sale forever. And then the second one, and then the third one, and then the fourth one. The third one's actually missing. Don't worry about that part. Fourth one. And then here's so there's like another one. There's the second series. There's all of these books that I wrote. There, some of them are missing because I actually sent them out today to people who wanted them. And so I have all of these books that showed up. I'm still not finished with the series yet. It's got like 12 books in it. But the thing is, when I wrote down the first words, the first scene, a man chained at a gate. He's addicted. He's hopeless. He's broken. This is not your fresh-faced kid that comes out of the vault in Fallout 3. This is a man who has been absolutely decimated by his life. He was somebody once, and now he's nothing, because he's been trapped in a world that wants to destroy him. And so I saw this man at the gate, and I saw what was going to happen. And I knew then the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. I saw it all. It unfolded before me like a banner, and I had no choice but to write it. But I had to find out how to get from that point first to the last point. And that's my journey. That's what I get to do as an author. I get to go on this adventure with them. So all of this worry that I had that I was going to be bored, I've gone on the biggest adventure of my life in writing this story. And I can't wait to see what happens, and I can't wait to write the end, because I am thrilled with what's taking place, and I am so excited to share it with all of y'all. It's absolutely a pulpy, fun, majesty thing, but it also is a very deep allegory on Christian life in this modern world.
And pretty cool, Snow.
What?
So that's pretty cool.
No, it's when I envisioned this thing and it just came to me like that. As I started studying there, I said, this is an allegory on Christian life in this modern world and a near future world. And one of the scariest things about this story is the things that I'm writing about are starting to come to pass. And as you read through the entire series from start to finish, you'll see it and you'll go, oh my gosh, we're already doing some of that stuff. That's crazy. And you're going to be like so excited or really, really scared because I really don't know if I should write the rest of this because I know what's fixing to happen. I'm like, dude, y'all don't want to be doing this. You don't need to be creating torment nexus. No, let's go ahead. Let's do this thing. I'm like, literally, Adina Cross, I can't say that. The things are showing up and the story are now in real life. And I'm like, holy cow, how do I deal with that? I guess I better go ahead and finish the story because the story's great. It's actually a noble, dark Christian allegory with deep roots in world religions. I love world religions. I've studied most of them. And I say this honestly because I had plenty of time growing up to read that. I was very deeply entrenched in reading as a child because I was a nerd and also because I wasn't good looking enough to get away with being popular. So I decided to hide in the library. That's what I did. And so I got to read all the time. And fortunately for me, I had wonderful friends along the way. And Robert Louis Stevenson, Robert E. Howard, Ray Bradbury, one of my favorites of all time. And I read everything that I could find. And so when I wrote Watcher the Damned, it wasn't just a sci-fi series. It wasn't just a Tolkien-esque fantasy. It was also Bradbury. And it was Howard, especially. I love Howard. I love Jack Vance as well. And if you have never read that, you need to read Jack Vance. One of the premier.
TJ says they just can't resist that torment nexus, and Michael Caine says, "Well, duh, you can sell the torment nexus."
They would hook us up to it if they could, by golly. But so
they're
gonna.
I gotta cut you off again.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Go ahead.
Mark, have you gone?
Not yet.
Please go.
Okay. In my day job, I am an electrical engineer that specializes in the design, construction, testing, and maintenance and commissioning of signal and train control systems for railroads and rail transit operations all over the country.
That's so cool.
I was in addition to being an anthropomorphic fan, an anime fan, I was an electronics geek and a train buff since the time I was a boy, and working with electronics since Dad convinced Mom that I could be trusted to wield a soldering iron and not burn the house down.
Good job.
So I scroll forward a number of years and I'm into my career and I'm doing a bunch of testing and commissioning work that my family and I affectionately refer to them as deployments, where I'll go to a job site and I will live at the job site for several weeks or several months until the work's complete. And one such engagement, instead of doing a bunch of reading that I would have normally had done to keep out of the bars at night where most of my coworkers would be hanging out, I knew somebody had to be put together in the morning, so I figured it might as well be me. So I was contemplating many of the things that I was talking to you about earlier, about my interests and the things that I liked. And there was one day, and this was during the day because we were working third shift at the time on one particular transit line we were working on near Washington, D.C. And my character, Polly, the woman featured on the cover of my books, came to me fully formed in my subconscious, didn't even have the decency to tell me her name, and branches her claws and just starts ripping around inside of my head. I'm like, ow, 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 ow. Could you not? What do you want? Ow, ow, ow. Well, I want you to write books about me and my family. I don't know how to write books. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, fine. So the rest, the rest of it was figuring out, letting her tell me what her and her family's stories were, and then figuring out how to write them down in a manner that other people would be able to enjoy and relate to. So I wrote these books not only because they were the stories I had in my heart to write, the stories I wanted to read and couldn't find. I also had to, because if I didn't, she'd still be in my head shredding around inside there, demanding that I write them. The series is complete now, and she's been leaving me alone for the time being. But she does remind me, you did end in a manner that allows other stories to be told. Don't forget, I haven't. So when she starts shredding around at the inside of my head again, I'll know it'll be time to get back to it.
Mark, I have a train geek question.
Yes.
Did you work on the DC Metro?
Yes, I worked on WMATA, which in the DC area is called Metro. I helped test and commission the equipment on the first phase of the Silver Line between West Falls Church and Reston at Wheelie Avenue. The second segment is now in service from Wheelie Avenue through Dulles Airport to Ashman. And I wasn't on that particular segment, but yes, I've been in the middle of the Dulles Toll Road working on those tracks many times.
Dude, okay. So did you actually see tiles that are on the ceilings?
No.
Baffles, the real weird things?
No.
See the weird things.
I didn't see them in the stations. I didn't have reason to go into the stations that often. I was out on the track all the time.
My dad worked on the
It is significantly later than I told the last group that they would be on. So I've got to cut you off. I'm so sorry.
My dad worked on the DC Metro. Ah! Okay,
Oh.
If you guys found any of these people, any of the books that they talked about interesting, I encourage you to visit the event page, find out the best place to get these books on sale. Remember that if you comment in the chat, hashtag virtual book fair, you will automatically be entered into our drawing for a $20 Amazon gift card. One more time, this has been Isaac Anderson, R.H. Snow, Donald, Jacob.
Eitflucht.
Eitflucht. Thank
Good.
you.
Awesome. I love it.
And Mark J. Engels.
Nice to meet all of you. And Donald, finally glad to talk to you in real time.
Yes. You too, Mark.
Yay.
Awesome.
Thank you for having us.
Legends all.
I love you. You're awesome, Katie.
Sorry. I didn't hit share.
I would hit Bigfoot with my car.
I would too.
Without a doubt.
Of food. The demons fulfilled the order. So I'm just saying that they're a little bit better than modern day takeouts.
I went through the drive-thru today. We had 5 people trying to figure out what happened to my order. I can see them through the window, all staring at the screen. I'm confused. Wait, what? Came to the window, argued with me. You had the onion rings, right? No. Yes, you did. No, I didn't.
Say what you want about the elder gods, but they at least know what order goes in what bag. They leave with the bag of food.
All right. Last group. Thank you guys so much for watching and sticking out with me. Please welcome Jonathan Scherger, Michael Kane, TJ Marquis, and that's all who's here right now. Would you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves and briefly mention the title of your book?
I'll go first.
Go for it.
I'm Jonathan Scherger, United States Marine veteran. I wrote Shades of Black and Darkness Cast and Semper Die.
I am Michael F. Kane. I write the sci-fi Western series After Moses. 6 books long. It's complete as of last week.
All right, moving right along. Yeah, congrats on that.
Thank you.
TJ Marquis, I have in the sale the first book of my Heroes Metal series. This is actually what I call Demibus. It's the first 2 books, but it's got a cool cover. So there you go. And recently released and graciously reviewed by some friends in this group. My 3 Black Knights short story collection, both on sale.
Great. Okay, and the other person that I was expecting couldn't make it, so it's just us for the end.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
My body is ready. Is yours?
Calm down, Reggie.
Why do I have you on?
I'm now less ready.
Okay. What would your book's anime title or quote unquote honest title be? That time I ...
I know nothing.
Okay, I'm
about
gonna need
anime.
like 10 seconds. I gotta work this out. After Moses, or that time I was a broke starship captain who thought he was a loner but had to get a crew.
There we go.
Okay, I can do that.
I needed to go a couple phrases longer for it to really be good, but
right. That's to take up like
Sometimes
half
you gotta
of the
write it
cover
out, yeah.
to really
Yeah.
work out. In Darkness Cast, or that time I prayed for a teacher and instead found a guy who just killed me over and over again until I got it right.
There you go.
All right, let's see if I can rattle it off. So that would be How Black the Sky, or that time I had to get the band back together so that my friends and I could keep the entire overland from falling into the I can't get it. I can't into the Hollow Earth. There you go.
Very nice, guys. Followed directions. I appreciate it.
That I
easy
can
one on
do.
the spot.
I have been well trained.
All right. Second question. What is your hero's tax policy?
None.
Well, Matthew Cole has a ship and is kind of a wandering bum taking on odd jobs. So I get the feeling he tries not to pay very many taxes. I'm not saying he's too political of a guy. I don't think he's very political. I just think he's trying not to pay any money to anybody.
Vibes.
Just, yeah. Well, I already said he was broke, so I don't think he's trying to pay his taxes. So
Patrick's in the chat. He's with the libertarian.
It's theft.
For those of you who don't know, Patrick was in all of the shorts. Because he's funny and I'm not.
He would hit Bigfoot. That's the one.
Yeah. Yep.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
Bigfoot is friend. You know,
I wouldn't hit Bigfoot because my car is expensive.
What if you can sell the pelt, though? Would be the sort of argument that
You
Patrick
wouldn't
is
die.
making
How many
right
times
now.
have you hit something with a car and it died? I have had to back up and hit. Wait.
How will you know? How will you know until you hit it? You're the only guy that's ever hit Bigfoot. See, I'm working for you, Patrick, because you're not here.
Now we have people in the chat arguing
Yeah.
about it. Anne wants to know, does Matthew Cole's mother pay taxes?
Yeah, she's probably pretty law-abiding. Let's be real. She's paying her taxes. She's got land. She's got a farm.
True.
She's paying his taxes too.
Oh.
All right, let's do another one. Boring. Do you have a favorite review of your book?
Oh.
I have several.
Are they from Marines and are they appropriate?
No, those are my favorite reviews, but they're not interesting to you guys. One of my favorite ones recently from Esprit de Corps, which is Semper Died 2, is this guy who wanted to educate me on what a doc was. Like, he put in his review, I don't understand where the medic in this story got her medical degree because they keep calling her doc. I'm like, that's what you call a corpsman. So thank you for telling me my language, but I'm glad you liked the book. It was a 5-star review. There's nothing to be mad about.
So yeah, the right answer is is the review that y'all did of 3 Black Nights.
Oh, thank you.
3 episodes, much more than I deserve. So that was greatly appreciated. But also, it's not for either of the books that are on sale. But there was a review on Amazon from a random of Rajak's superhero fantasy book. And he said Marquis is something along the lines of Marquis is almost as good as Larry Correa, but not quite. Like, you know what? I'll take it.
I got a 4-star on Shades one time because it wasn't Tolkien. And I was like, okay, I'll take that.
Sure.
All right.
I mean, that's a solid 4-star.
Whatever, man. That was a 5-star to you. I'll take it.
So, like, I gotta say that one of my favorites is the one that is like the money quote that is I always use in the marketing, as from Trevor Dinning. He said, I'm probably going to take heat for this, but I'll say it anyway. After Moses is better than Firefly, better than Star Trek, and if you question if that's possible, this is for you. So that has to be my favorite because that's just one of those usable ones when I'm, as a author desperate for marketing fodder, you're like, thank you. But I have to say the real ones that like I like the most are the ones that it betrays that the reader actually like really gets something. Right? Like, there's kind of an odd structural thing in the After Moses stories, in that each one of them there's this long backstory chapter, and some of them, you know, some people don't get, right, and it's okay. They're like, why did you spend all this time with this? But then I'll get a review that's like, I love that chapter so much. I'm like, yes, you got it. Because I have to tell my editors they're important, and they are, but they're there for a reason and they're important. So when the reviewer's like, oh, I love that, I'm like, you get me. You get me.
Yeah, I ignore chapter headings so often that well, I've said that before on
What was that?
streams. You were talking about chapter headings, right? I tuned out.
No, I was talking about the long backstory chapters.
Oh, the backstory chapters.
Yeah. Oh, and chapter titles too. I love chapter titles. I love named chapters.
Yes.
Yeah,
I thought up.
It's late,
I thought up the Guns of the Vatican, and then had to name like, I don't know, 120 chapters through the series because I thought of that one cool title for one chapter, and so every one of them needed a title after that.
These are the pitfalls they don't teach you about in beginning writing courses.
Hey, this one idea will generate dozens of hours of thinking and time spent.
Okay. Would you guys like to talk a little bit more verbosely about each of your stories that are on sale? Because I feel like the title one was maybe a bit brief.
we were following directions.
I
You said
know,
pretty.
right?
I was following directions. Now I have to freestyle it, which I think Katie would regret. So maybe you just want to reach for your little pile of cards again.
Maybe one sentence.
Okay,
One
well,
sentence.
I can talk. If no one else wants to talk, I'll talk. I mean, I started writing after Moses like 7 years ago, and it's about the aftermath of a failed AI utopia, and so it's been really interesting to see. You know,
The AI utopia,
the AI, the fail, right? The AI utopia, where it's like where people start giving, you know, the backstory. Moses is the AI. He gives us this century of golden age, and then he just disappears, and society begins to crumble, and technology begins to crumble because everybody gave up so much of their intellectual and creative faculties over and just let the AI take care of everything. So I started this in 2018 before anyone was thinking about these LLMs, and now no college professor knows how to conduct their classes anymore because every student basically cheats, and they don't know what to do, how to teach anyone to write anymore because they just punch it all into an LLM and have it's everything. I know a professor on Twitter who's like happy when the essay is bad because they know that the student actually wrote it. So that's been interesting, writing a series and then going, oh yeah, this is, you know, they talk about how sci-fi can be useful for warning about the future. Well, there we go. So, but mostly it's an adventure. Mostly it's an adventure in the line of here's another fun review that I liked. When somebody said it was Firefly if Firefly had a baby with The Expanse and baptized it.
Okay.
So we have the sci-fi western of the Firefly. We have the local space near future sci-fi of The Expanse, and then baptized because I'm a Christian. There's some Christian characters and themes like that. So I thought that was pretty good.
Nice.
All right, somebody else talk.
TJ.
Oh, you caught me trying to write a comment. Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's good. It's good. So I guess it's been a while since I've had a chance to talk about Heroes Metal, but the seed was that I just was so into particularly progressive heavy metal, of the instrumental and very bright and kind of ethereal, or even sometimes like cosmic variety, that I felt that I needed to channel that into some sort of fiction and try and capture the same vibe if I possibly could, which happens to me a lot. I grew up, you know, around music. I've been a musician, so it just kind of inevitable. But the story seed was, if the metal band wasn't like just a metal band in a fantasy setting, but if they were like the concept album characters that might exist. So they all have personalities that reflect what instruments they would be, but it's not like they play music necessarily, although there is music in various parts and singing and stuff like that, drums. But so it was, the goal was to build a RPG party out of these personalities based on the instruments or the players, or however you want to think of that, and then just let them go on a wild adventure, going all out the way metal does, with the kind of like undertone of humor that even the kind of the most brutal metal can have. And from there, it just kind of spins out and the stakes keep getting higher. I think of Final Fantasy a lot because of the way that things start kind of small, and it's not necessarily that I intended this with Heroes Metal, but because I like that kind of story so much, it just keeps ramping up, until now we're at the point where there's, I guess this is a spoiler, but maybe not, where we're at like world-ending stakes. So yeah, that's the basis of the idea for Heroes Metal.
Are you at one more for the series, or is it 2?
One more. I originally thought I might do 5, but I realized that was stretching it too much. And to be quite honest, 4 has been difficult. I've got this story, but I've been so busy otherwise. That's why it's quite late, according to the schedule that I had established. Yeah, but 4 I think will be the right amount, and this will be it. This will be the series.
Jonathan.
Well, you and I have had a couple pretty long interviews about Shades of Black, so I won't do that one. If you guys want to know more about Shades of Black, look up Katie's other videos. But I wrote 2 installments in the Semper Die series this year, and something I was noticing is that when people write Marines in books, they don't understand them because they're not immersed in the culture, but they also don't know why we do things. All they kind of hear is, they're standing on the front line is Marines running past them yelling. They don't know why the Marines doing that. They immediately shunt it off to they're insane. They're psychotic. But when a Marine is rushing the enemy, there's so much actually going on in his head because he's looking everywhere at firing angles. He's rushing. All you hear in your head is, but then all you're seeing are firing angles, but you're not looking for yourself. You're looking for the other Marines around you, because the worst thing in the world would be to lose a Marine because you weren't covering him. We have a big failure culture, and it's totally based on other Marines. So that's kind of why I wrote Semper Die. It's like one of my favorite movies is Battle Los Angeles, which gets really close to how Marines are. It's actually a little toned down. But it's great because it's supposed to be a movie about Marines fighting aliens, but the aliens honestly don't matter. They're not the big part of the movie. It's about the Marine squad that's out there. So that's how I wrote Semper Die. I was like, there's a zombie apocalypse, and how would the Marine Corps actually respond to that? Most of the time, they're extras, that got to be on camera for a little bit, and they have to lose to show that the situation's bad. Well, zombies are bad enough. Okay, so what would it actually be like for Marines to fight zombies? How would we react to this threat? How do we interpret it? When do we activate into massacre mode? Oh, we need to shoot everything. And getting out, what kind of tactics do we adopt to form firing lines, to create crossfire zones, to be able to fall back, to get Marines out? What does our offense look like? Because we don't do well on defense historically. When we go back in, what does that look like? And so I just put it all in the head of a guy named Sergeant Slaughter. And people are always like, oh, you named the guy Slaughter because he's a Marine. No, I served with a Gunny Slaughter. Okay? He was in charge of HMAT platoon when I was at DLI. Okay? So that is not fictional. But Slaughter loves his Marines. Slaughter has a ton of combat experience from Afghanistan. And he has a few escapades from Afghanistan that plug back into the story later when Ivan shows up. And I had a lot of fun in Esprit de Corps because I brought Ivan back and no one expects him, and suddenly it's like, oh no! But getting to use Slaughter, in the second one, it was a lot more of, I have lost Marines. How do I handle that? And I keep getting thrown back out into a world that I have to destroy everything around. Because in Esprit de Corps, he just lands on the beach, plays music, zombies rush him, he clears them, and that's so supply Marines can go and raid Costco for the naval flotilla. So he's becoming lost in the persona of the destroyer, and he gets no downtime, and he's grieving as he's dropping Z's, and that's just not a good way to grieve. And so it's about him coming to terms with what he is and what he's going to become.
I loved the first book. And I'm not a Marine, but I still loved it. So I got to read the next one. I also have to read Michael Caine's last book, which I'm very excited for. Just need time. You're muted, Michael.
Yes, you have to finish it. It has the story finishes.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
That's not
It
real.
is such a
Authors
good
don't
feeling.
finish series, Michael.
Yes, we do.
No, they don't.
900,000 words.
Nice. Does the joy compound over finishing one? Is it 1 times 6 or is it like exponential?
Oh, it's you know that when you're writing a book and well, okay, I guess this might depend on if you're whether a pantser or a plotter. But if you're a plotter, you've thought of that ending, right? You've got that goal in mind, right? That really cool finale, and you get there and you finish it, right? And you're like, it paid off, right? Well, it feels pretty good when you're thinking of those series ending finales, things that you left breadcrumbs for 6 books previous, to finally write and tell the story, and finish it. It feels pretty good. It feels pretty good. So far readers are liking it too. So
good.
Very good.
Saying the promises are fulfilled, and that's
you don't want to do Lost season 7.
Nope. It is so totally done. Yeah, I talk a lot about how almost all stories need endings. There's a few kinds of stories that don't need an ending, and that's basically a story that resets to the status quo with each next entry, right? Your pulp detectives and some kind of other pulp type stuff, right?
Bond.
Yeah, Bond resets the status quo.
Yep.
So I've been thinking for years that stories need endings. Most stories need endings. Otherwise, you turn them into zombies, and you get Luke Skywalker and blue milk. So the first line of book 6 is "All things under heaven come to an end." I am telegraphing hard that I'm done. It's done. It finishes. So you can read the complete series now if you want.
I want to write a review. Can't wait for book 7.
99 cents. Yeah.
You're gonna write me a Christmas short at some point, right? Starring these characters doing something.
if you do another Christmas anthology, I will write you I'll finish that Christmas short in the After Moses universe, but it won't have any of the main characters. It'll have completely different characters. Just use the setting. So.
It's not gonna be this year again, guys. I'm sorry.
What? We got a week.
December. Come on, Katie.
We can pound it out.
Everybody, you got 3 days to write. Katie has 2 days to edit.
If it was just me, I would totally do it. But I need David. He did the generating on the covers. Like you see our covers and you're like, oh, that's pretty. No, it's a 3-dimensional space. And then of course all of the formatting stuff, like I just don't, he does it all with code, so I need him.
Yeah, that's
doing it the hard way.
Yeah, the things I've heard that he does, I'm just like, does
it have to be hard?
Because he can.
Yes,
Does
exactly.
He code his own word processor for writing.
Yes, yeah. So it's all like in the code.
Like a Jonathan's frown.
But
his eyes.
Because he does this, he can just do and then it generates according. It's not AI generation. This is a different following the code that he made. It makes.
I wouldn't care either way. It sounds easier with AI. He is the machine.
All right. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you all for watching. And if anything that you heard tonight sounds interesting, if any of the people sounded like they were cool and interesting, please check out their books.
Don't make it dependent on us being cool, Katie.
Yeah, I wasn't told I had to be cool.
I think you guys are all cool. So
what lies told.
We all think each other's cool. That's good enough.
Right. Right now, everything on the event page, is a good. The event page is a good place to find everything that's on sale right now. Some stuff will still be on sale in the coming week. Some stuff is already phasing out. So go grab your thing that you want, because you know there's something that you have in mind after watching this. Again, this is going to be your very, very last opportunity, so I'm going to do the drawing soon. Type hashtag virtual book fair into the chat. Sorry, I got washed out there. For your chance to win the $20 Amazon gift card, which I cannot stipulate what you spend it on, but indie books, they're right there. All right. I am going to put that up right now. I don't think a whole lot of people have entered, so
Let's do the drum roll.
5 entries. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
It was me, and then it switched back over to her. This camera's rigged.
Probably a button that Katie's like, nudge, nudge, nudge. There we
I am
go.
not,
Okay.
I swear.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody who was in the chat, whether you entered the giveaway or not. I appreciate you. And I'll reach out to you. She says, winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
I'll reach out to you and I will get your info to send you that. All right. I am going to throw up one last short, and that will be the end of the stream. So thank you guys all so much. And please, if you're watching later, leave a comment. Let us know what sounded interesting to you, what book you're thinking of grabbing after watching. And if you enjoyed this, if you'd like us to do more things like this. Guys, have a great night.
Night. Peace, y'all. Bye.